All right. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be having another interesting class, and it will interest you to know that we have commenced our design proper. Please, if you are new to this channel, do well to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for subsequent video. All right, we'll begin our class for today. At the last class, we discussed about alignment class, where I reminded us that the next class we'll be having will be making more use of the alignment class. Of course, we talked about that of centralize. Of course, that is the basic thing there. That is the E, when to make use of the E and the C, okay, which we did. And I reminded us that today's class, being the Weld, Intersect, Simplify, and Co class, will be practicing it very well. And I believe while we will be advancing in our class, we are still carrying each other along. Please do well to drop any question if you have, and I will do well to reply as quick as possible. Today we'll be having our Weld, Intersect, Interact, and Simplify class. Okay, we have the boundary and co. Very quick one. Let's assume we have these two shape. Okay, we have these two shape. All right. Now, based on what I'm doing, like I told us, we've commenced our design proper. What I'm doing now, before we can commence our design proper, is part of what may be giving some of us problem on the long run. Just the way I took my time to explain these two box one after another, so that once we commence our design proper, we will not be having issues in asking question, how did you go about getting this or that. Please, if you are new to the channel, you can still do well to go back to my YouTube channel and get the complete graphics tutorial starting from 1 till 14. Now we have these two box, and of course, when we hear multi-select, is selecting more than one object or more than one text. Okay, now I drew the yellow before the pink, right? And if I overlap the pink where we have the yellow and multi-select it, you discover that the property bar has changed. Okay, now in this property bar, now we have the weld, we have the trim, we have the intersect, we have the simplify, we have the front minus back, and we have the back minus front, and we have the create boundary. So this is the class we'll be doing today, after which we will now have to do one logo with it. We'll just try one logo with it and see what it will give us. Okay, so this is a complete two box that we have, and if I draw overlap this pink where this yellow is and multi-select, of course you should have it at the back of your mind that the yellow is behind the pink, so that while we are doing the class, you understand more better. Okay, now if I click on the weld, it means combine object into a single curve. That means if you are watching the picture from the property bar, you discover that it is even self-explanatory, meaning this is two box. Okay, but at some point they joined together. So once I click on this weld, now what happens? It has actually do what? Joined the two shapes together. So that is weld. Okay, and the next one we have is that of what? Trim. Trim is cutting off something, like they say cut out a portion of an object by using the shape of another object. Now this pink is lapping this yellow, right? Now they are now telling you, based on our explanation, that you are using now this trim now to cut off this part where this pink overlap the yellow. You are using this trim now to cut it off. It means once I multi-select, and click on trim, what happens? You discover that once you remove your trim, you discover that it has cut off that very part where the two overlap each other. Okay, I can undo by pressing Ctrl Z, or you go through your edit and click on undo. Of course, this is the long process, so you can just Ctrl Z and it comes back the way it's supposed to be, right? It comes back the way it's supposed to be. Now the next one we have, if I multi-select, the next we have is intersect. Intersect is simply, it will bring out, let's read and see what we have there. They say create an object from the area where two or more objects overlap. So it means now this pink overlap this very yellow here. So that very point where they overlap, it will create another shape from these two shapes, making three shapes. So if I multi-select it now and click on this intersect, alright, now if I end up removing this pink and removing this yellow, you discover that that very point where they overlap each other, that is, it has, that is the intersection that it has made. That means it has created another shape from there. Okay, you discover that the trim is to cut off, but intersect is to create another shape from where they overlap each other. And the next one we have is the simplify. Simplify is the same thing as trim. Okay, they perform the same function. So once I multi-select here now, click on simplify. Once I click on it, you discover that this simplify has cut off this very point. The same thing now happens to trim. Okay, once I click on trim, wherever they intersect each other, you see it cutting off. Okay, right, now the next one we have is the front minus back. Of course, you know the yellow is behind the pink. Of course, yellow is back and pink is at the front. So this English is a very straightforward something. They say front minus back means front will remain and back will go. Let's see what happens. You see that very point where they intersect each other, cut off from there. Now if I click on the pink and multi-select again, let me repeat it again and click on front minus back. It means that you are asked to remove the back, which is the yellow, which is this yellow, right? You are asked to remove the back from the front. So that means the back is going, but the front remains, and that is the reason why you're seeing it as front minus, anything minus is out. So that means front minus back, meaning the front remains and the back will go off. So that is what we have. And the second one now is back minus front, is vice versa. That is two ways. Okay. Now, once you click on this back minus front, what it means is that the back remains and the front will go. As simple as this. And the last one that we have is that of boundary. Create boundary. Creating of boundaries. This very shape, okay, it will just create the boundary of this shape. It will create the boundary of this shape for you. The way you're seeing it, it will just create the boundary of this shape for you. All right. Once you click on create boundary, automatically it has created this boundary of this shape you're seeing. And if I decide to add maybe star here and decide to add oval here and give them different color, okay, in as much as I select it, once I create boundary, exactly what we have is the shape you see. Are you seeing it? So where they overlap each other is the shape you're seeing. You are seeing the circle, this is it. Part of the star that shows from outside, this is what you're seeing here, and this is the box for that, this is the yellow. Okay, so that is the boundary. Now it will interest you to know that we can actually use this weld, intersect, interact, and simplify, and back minus front and front minus back, and the create boundary. We can use it to achieve so many things. Okay, we can use it to achieve so many things, and it brings us to um trying to make use of this class we've done now. Let me think of a logo that we can use to achieve what we've done now. I think we have that of NNPC, their old logo, the old Nigerian old NNPC logo, right? So let me go to Google and see. So we have this logo. This is old NNPC logo. So what I need to do is to click, then I'll save. Okay. So once I save, the next thing I'll see, I'll copy it. I think I have it here, right? So I'll paste it here. Let's see if we can achieve something like this. So what I need to do, of course, we are seeing a perfect circle, and you are seeing a rectangle, though in a tiny form. So what I need to do is to draw a perfect circle by holding down my control key. You remember, if you don't hold down your control key, of course the circle will just be an oval. So you have to press down your control key to give you a perfect circle, okay, which is what we have. Now the next thing we need to do now is we'll just draw a straight shape like this. Don't mind. If you like, draw it here, don't mind. Remember our alignment class. When you hear center center, it means you are applying. When you multi-select, like I told us, whenever you are multi-selecting a shape or an object, the last one you click is the most senior, right? Now this thing now is here. If I click and multi-select and press this circle, that means this rectangle, this tiny rectangle will come and meet the circle. But if I click the circle before clicking on the rectangle, this circle will come and meet the what? The rectangle. So it does not matter where you draw it, in as much as you remember the alignment class, which I reminded us in our last class to make sure we practice it, we study it very, very well. Meanwhile, if you are new to this channel, please do well to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for subsequent video. Okay, we'll continue. So once I click on this rectangle, I'll multi-select and press my C and press CE. CE, you know what I have done already, right? Okay. Of course, CE, you know what I've done already. Let me repeat it again. Anywhere your shape is, just multi-select and press your C for center for width, your E for center for height. Okay. What I need to do is, once you click, always remember there is 8 nodes that appears where rectangle or text is. Now if I click it again, it will change from node to another shape entirely that has arrow. Of course, it's called rotate. Now if you check your property bar, you still see that rotate here, somewhere here. Angle of rotation, you see something like circle, but um it has an arrow close to it. Okay. Now what you're doing now, once you hold down your left click and press one, hold control, just make a move. If you feel this tiny one is not much, you can just make a move, but I think this is okay. All right. Once I right click on it, that means you have to duplicate. I'm still holding down my control key, okay, and I press down my left and drag. Then before I can now right click and leave the right click, leave my left and leave my control. But meanwhile, have it in mind, have it in mind that you can always use your shortcuts in as much as you are doing design as a professional. Okay, so you multi-select, like I said, let me do it again. You click on your rectangle shape, multi-select and press your circle and press your C. Now see, it has bring it to the width, right? But it has not centered the height because you have not pressed E. And that is the reason why I say, I told us in our last class that the center is the one that confuses most graphic artists. So what I need to do is, once I press it, then press it again. Once you click on that your shape you've drawn, you discover that that 8 node will show. What you need to do, press it again so that it will turn to that of rotation. Okay. What you need to do is make a move and hold control. Okay. Make a move and hold control. And one good thing about computer is computer already will use her hand to give you a gauge. Okay, it will give you a gauge whereby once you give it a command, it will give you a perfect shape, that is a perfect size. Even though you use your ruler to measure, you discover that they are the same. But in a situation whereby you don't hold control, you can do it on your own, and at the end of the day, you discover that it will not lap well. Let's try what I left my control now. I have decided to leave my control now. So if I right click on top and press Control R, Control R, Control R, Control R means repeat, you discover that something happened here. because the gauge was not correct. And that is the reason why at some point towards the ending part of it, you discover that there is no space in between here. And so if I want to undo is Control Z, of course, or you go through your edit and click on undo. Like I said, one of the things they use in knowing a good graphic artist is using a shortcut key. So once I click on it and press it again, I'll hold down my control, then make my move. All right, let's assume this is okay for me. I'll right click on top, then leave my left and leave my control. Then go back there and press Control R. Control R is repeat, meaning the last action you did, you will repeat it. So once I press down my control key and press Control R, it will now keep doing it. Now you discover that it has given me exact shape, okay, an exact measurement of what we have. And remember, before we apply this, once we click on it and make a move, right, and right click, don't click outside. Once we click outside, it has scattered. Even though you Control R, it will not do, and nothing will appear, nothing, no function, nothing will come out, because you've scattered what you've started. So what you need to do is you click on it, you hold your control, you make a move, right? Then right click on top and leave your left key and leave your control key. Don't click outside, leave it the way it is like this. Make sure that this your rotational angle points you are seeing did not disappear. Once it disappears, you cannot achieve anything. So once you make it like that, next thing you need to do is to hold your control and press R. It means repeat, repeat, repeat. And after that, you just select it. Make sure that hold your left, press down your left mouse, left click mouse and drag like this. Okay, you discover that it has selected everything. Now go through your property bar and you see that last class we did for the Weld, Intersect and Co. You ask yourself, which of these can I click to actually join this together? Of course, if you practice this, the last class we did, of course, if you practice the last class we did for the Weld, Intersect and Co, you agree with me that we are going for that of Weld, right? And this is what we have. Of course, the next thing I need to do is I'll hold my control, of course, draw a perfect circle, okay? I'll center it. When I talk about, once you hear me say center, you should know that it is center for E and for C. So I'll multi-select it. Of course, this one will come and meet this because this was the first one I pressed, and this one is what this will respect. I'll press my C and E, okay? Then I can now increase. If you want to increase one side, it's only one side that will go, but if you want the whole side to increase together, you hold shift. Okay, you see what shift is doing? All right, this is what shift will give you. So I can increase it like this, and I will still hold down my shift. Okay, you see a cross sign, you see a cross sign, because computer know that you want to do a command. Once you adjust again, still hold that your shift, still hold your left, then right click on top, means you have duplicated. You remember that we have done color eyedropper class before. Once I click on my color eyedropper, I can pick my yellow color, paste it here, return, pick it again, pick that of red, paste it where we have red, return, pick it for the last time and pick that my green. Okay, and we have something like this. I can select all, tick in the outline, or I'll come through my status bar, double click on it, and of course tick the outline here. Okay, the more you tick, the more you see it. And if I've gotten what I want, I'll just say okay. Of course, I don't want us to start going through the fit text part because we've not gotten to that stage. I just want us to master what the Weld and Co is. Okay, so you discover that with Weld you can actually merge something together. So many other things we can use this to do. And inside this star, of course, you know we did this star and we have another complex star. I think we've done it before. We did the complex star before here. Okay, Okay, star. Okay. I think we've done another complex class star here before. Common shapes. So many things, so many other things you can do, and I can decide to draw a star here like this. Okay. Of course, if I need a perfect star, who my control to give me a perfect star, right? And this is another form of star. They call it complex star. Remember? Okay. Now this is how many points? One, two, three, four, five. I can change this to 5 points. Now, if I give this color and give this color, you discover that there is a space in there is a space at the center of this complex star. Can you also achieve such space here? The answer is yes. Only what you need to do is, let's assume this is what I want. I want here to have space just the way that very complex star is. Okay. So what I need to do is to multi-select it and press what? And press trim. Trim means cutting off that center point. You see what we have here? Okay. So that means I can give this any other color just the way it is here. And you see that it's giving us different, almost the same thing that we have. The reason why we will not be um, doing more of this complex style, like making it exactly the way it is we've not done that of converting to curve for either a text or a shape. And if I begin it like this now, it may actually confuse us or deviate our attention from the actual reason why we are having that of Weld, Interactive, and Intersect class and co. It will deviate our attention from today's class. Of course, we talked about having Weld, Intersect, Interactive and co, Simplify and co. So I wouldn't like us to have a divided mind in terms of the class we're having for today. But I know as time goes on, we'll still do that of converting a text or a shape to a curve where we can actually achieve different types of shapes and even come up with something like this, do a hand drawing and do a common logo. I believe in our next class we'll be doing something of this nature. So I want to, in a very special way, thank you and do well to always view my channel as more video will be coming your way. Thank you and have a blessed day. Bye.